Are you ready?
Hey guys, what's up? In this tutorial, I'll quickly try to explain MVC pattern. And you've probably heard of all these frameworks, Zen, Symfony, Cake. This isn't about frameworks though, so let's just ignore that. Now, there's a argument from what I see on ways to go about doing the MVC. Um, I guess it became popular because of Ruby on Rails. Uh, but I don't use Ruby, so I don't know much about that. So we have a model view and a controller, okay? And this is just a beautiful way to organize a large application. In my opinion, you don't need a MVC pattern for just small beans. So what you have a bootstrap, okay? And the bootstrap kind of ties all these together. And the bootstrap gets in PHP terms, I don't know how other applications work, but like in a web browser, you go to mysite.com/controller function value, okay? And basically, it loads a controller. So you hit up this URL, and we're going to load the controller. And the controller, what that does, it actually loads the model. I'll explain what each of these do in a second, okay? And then the data from the model, it goes back to the controller, and the controller then goes back to the bootstrap. And I want a separate arrow there. I'll just put it like that, okay? And then the view, then it renders the view. So basically, the controller, it could go back to the bootstrap. Well, let me not get into that right now. The model, what this does is it is business logic. Business logic, and what's that? Database, formatting stuff, creating, or I could just say, CRUD, create, edit, rename, delete, whatever you want. Basically everything that does stuff, okay? This is where the money happens in your application. The controller, basically what this does is it's just a connection between getting actual data based on this URL and then passing it into the display for the user. And the view, that could be a template, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, all that stuff. And let me type out what the controller does. The controller connects model and view based on URL, okay? Now, just to bring it up, I've seen people say, well, you should be able to grab call things from the model from the view. I guess it's a matter of preference if you make your own MVC, or if you use one that allows you to do that. But for this example and for myself, I kind of prefer it this way. Okay, so let's say they load the controller, and the controller is obviously a PHP class, and it would have methods in it. So it would load the controller, the method here, and then the value. And if it actually had to do something significant, you'd probably call a method inside a model. Model would do whatever it needs to do, like update a database record, and have the results, send it back to the controller, and then the controller would either go back to the bootstrap and send it to the view, or it could just say controller to view. I'm not sure if there's really a solid standard. I see a lot of different ways of it being done. Anyways, you say, well, this is pretty confusing. Let me open this up a second. So I've got this built here, right? basically I have a library, and in here I have a bootstrap, controller, model, and view. And in these folders I just have little libraries and stuff. But and then your actual application is where you have controllers, like let's say dashboard, and you extend your base controller most of the time, because your base controller will have methods to collect, let's say, an array of page data, which you're going to pass on to the view. And you don't want to have to redefine all this stuff, you know, so you kind of want to extend stuff. Anyways, this is kind of a lot to take in and try to explain, I think, in so short a time. And then the model here is kind of like the business data. So hopefully you're not too confused. It might just help if you played with CodeIgniter. This is the easiest one to practice with. A while ago I found it a little tricky to get started with, just the whole idea of MVC. But if you do pick it up, it's really good. It just keeps you really organized, and it helps you prioritize things. So hopefully this didn't confuse you too much, and sorry that my wording isn't very fancy. Alright, thanks for watching.